All right, boys and girls. So after just a little technical difficulties, which is all good, we are relaunching here with take two of the Small Business Network podcast with partner and CEO, yours truly, Sean White, here in the building on a beautiful Saturday here in Atlanta, Georgia. And now we got everything situated with. So, I definitely do apologize for that. But it just goes to show, guys, that, you know, when we enter like new avenues, right? Especially with social media and technology, it's always ever evolving, right? We're always learning, we're always growing. And that's the cool thing as far as on what we do here with the Small Business Network, because we're all about the small business entrepreneur. We're all about, quote unquote, the little guy. And that's what it really takes for us really as a collective to really grow and go to the next level. So I'm super excited. We got everything situated with, and now I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and get this party started right. So we're gonna bring on here my partner here and Mr. Darrell White. So I'm just waiting here, and here he go. So we're gonna go ahead and get this show rocking, ladies and gentlemen. We definitely do apologize for any inconvenience, but trust me when I it's gonna be well worth the wait. So James, do me a favor. Please go ahead and share this out in all the groups and let everybody know as far as that we are on live. So if you can do that for me, partner, I would definitely appreciate that. And we're gonna go ahead and get this interview segment going. So Darrell, it's coming to you. So we're just waiting for the connection here, and then we're gonna go ahead and get this party started. Get this party started. So it is added, and here we go with the power of social media. We have here my good man, hailing all the way from B More, the amazing Darrell White. What's up, my brother?
Thank you, champion. I appreciate you bringing me on, man.
Hey, it's an absolute honor and a privilege, my friend. So I know that you're a very, very busy man. So let's go ahead and get this show rocking and rocking. So, Darrell, if you can just let the audience know, what is the name of your business?
The name of the business is DW, which are my initials, Conflict Resolution Services, LLC.
Awesome. And what does that consist of, my friend?
So my business is built off of the premise of making sure that I work specifically with individuals and families and helping them to identify and resolve conflicts because primarily my targeted market are parents. Um, so we want to identify and resolve conflicts so that any unresolved conflicts aren't passed down to the next generation. So I work with three generations in particular. If Sean had invited me in to be a client, I would interview even Sean's parents, Sean's children, and identify those who are the close-knit members of the family tree to help to identify whatever conflicts exist. Some people know what the conflicts are, but most people don't know what the conflicts are, right? It's just the elephant in the room effect, or we don't need to address it. We just kind of leave it alone. I'm here to help you to get to the root of what those conflicts are and dealing with the here and now.
Wow, that is definitely powerful too, man. And I'm very curious, Darrell, what inspired you as far as to even create the business, right? Because that's powerful, man. Like addressing something like that. Wow.
Yeah. So I'm inspired by the fact that the work begins at home, right? And oftentimes we blame the educational system, we blame the city government, we blame the state in the rearing of our children. But really, the first representatives are the parents, right? They
Correct.
represent God in the home. So whatever a kid's view of God is often depicted by what they see in the parent. And some of the issues that we have are deep-rooted spiritual issues. And I am here and called in this ministry of mine to help break any generational trauma. So when I see what I see particularly in Baltimore City, and all of the communities, the impoverished communities, the low-income communities, I see homes where the father's not there, dad may be incarcerated. I see abandonment issues,
Right.
and I see how it spills out in our everyday lives, our workforce, our family units, mental health, and things of that nature. So I'm really inspired by the kids of this generation to be an impact now in the homes. It's time to stop talking about what needs to be done and time to actually do it.
That's powerful. And just on the side note, just something I was just thinking about when you are speaking as far as like with families and individuals, have you noticed that there's one class or one group of race that would probably be easier to connect with versus with another race?
Uh, I don't find any one particular race to be easier than others. I
Okay.
would say that the majority of the clientele that I work with the community organizations that I partner with, are in your Narcotics Anonymous or Alcohol Anonymous circles, because we've seen the effects of how drugs and alcohol destroys individuals and the families as well.
Yeah.
So they could be of any race. So it's not one in particular that's easier than the other. What makes it challenging is when people um, don't want to get to the root of what those issues are, or if they don't want to disclose certain things, whether sexual trauma in the family, whether it's physical abuse, whether it's verbal abuse, and they
Right.
get to a place where they say, I'm okay. But really, it's not okay, because what we learn from our parents, if we're not careful, we pass that right down to our kids. So that's what I find to be most challenging when people don't want to open up.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. I mean, it's that proverbial generational curse, right? And if someone doesn't make a decision as far as to say, you know what, enough is enough, and break that generational curse, then it just keeps going and going and going. Not only as far as like emotionally, but also even financially as well. And I'm pretty sure you definitely have noticed that as well, correct?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, man, amazing stuff. So why is it important now, Darrell, for you to gain awareness on this, right? Why?
Why now?
Yeah,
Because we are amongst a dying generation. And I'm not necessarily talking about physical death, but what I'm talking about is we are amongst a generation of our young brothers and sisters who don't dream to live past 21 or 25. And they see that some people, if we're honest, some people in our generation have failed them, right? So I need to be an impact now, and not just myself, but any other coach in the business that really want to have an impact on mental health. Now is the time, because we're seeing a gradual decline. And statistics shows this. Um, our young kids are not making it past 20 or 18.
yeah,
Um, we have a lot of mothers who are trying to do things on their own.
yeah,
Uh, we have a lot of people that are incarcerated in our community. We have a society that rebukes and rejects fatherhood. So now is the time, and that's my big why, getting in and trying to do the work to reconnect fathers to their children, trying to reconnect and restore and heal the family dynamic.
Southern Darrell, that is definitely powerful. And I'm in 1,000% agreement with that. There's a lot of people that actually talk about it, right? And it sounds good. But when the rubber meets the road and action is required, then that's when we really see as far as on who's really about that mission and versus those that's talking. And I think that's the reason why we appreciate people such as like the Malcolm X's, right? The Martin Luther Kings, of the world, because they seen as far as an issue and a problem, and they said, you know what, I just can't sit back and just allow for that to keep on happening. And
Right.
so when I'm listening to you, I'm feeling that you have that type of passion, that type of vision, and I most certainly applaud you for that, my friend. So with that being said, Darrell, and I want to ask you, are you wanting to do as far as on what it takes to bring that awareness, right, out as far as into the marketplace? Are you wanting to make that happen no matter what?
Oh, absolutely. It has to be done. That's a no-brainer.
That's a no-brainer.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
expound on that a little bit more for me. Talk to me.
Well, because it's not a lot of work being done at the home, in the home front. As far as what I see and as far as research shows, we just keep moving. If we keep doing the same things we're doing, we're gonna keep getting the results that we're getting. So to uh, it wouldn't make any sense for me to market to a larger audience. It wouldn't make sense for me not to try to tap into many homes and communities. Now it's only one of me.
Right.
Eventually, I'll need more therapists on board. I'll need more coaches on board to help me out so that we can expand this and make it grow and have more of an impact. I know, virtually we can, I've been able to reach a lot of people who may not necessarily live in Maryland through a virtual platform, but it's still only one of me. And I really want to get into a space where um, this thing grows so that we have more of an impact. And like I said, reconnecting with or connecting with therapists all over this country, particularly in what people call the hood,
Right.
right? I
Right.
think that's where it's needed the most so that we can make an impact. My work is not effective without therapists. And I think therapists' works are not effective without coaches. So we can really work together and make a huge impact on this community.
Wow, that was very well said. And you know something, Darrell, me and you share the same vision along with Dr. James as well. And this is the reason why me and Dr. James actually, collaborated with the Small Business Network because, like I stated in the beginning, we're all about helping entrepreneurs and small business entrepreneurs, right? Really be able to expand that vision and really help as far as with the cause. So I believe as far as that you would really be a great asset and we would love as far as to talk with you more in detail about that. And me and you already spoke as far as like with speaking engagements later on down the line because I'm a speaker as well. So I just really love as far as your mission and your value statements, right? This is absolutely incredible. Darrell, how can the listening audience get a hold of you? Because I'm pretty sure that when people watch the replay, they're going to be inspired and they're going to want to get a hold of you.
Yes, sir. So they can contact me directly at my work cell at 443-762-6010. And if I'm not going to recognize the number, but please leave me a voice message and I'll store the number and get back to you. Or you can reach me via email at Darrell, it's DARRELL White, WHITE at gmail.com. That's Darrell Dr. White at gmail.com.
Thank you for that clarification because I've been calling you Darrell, but it's Darrell. So I apologize about
It's all
that.
good, brother.
Awesome, awesome. Darrell, it's been an absolute pleasure. Again, I would love to go ahead and speak with you, after this interview is done. But do you have any final words for the listening audience, my friend?
Final words. Just, I would say that don't be, when we think about conflicts and things that occur, think about the next generation. Don't think about the here and now. Think about how your family will be impacted by unresolved conflicts 3 generations down the line. I think that what we learn and what we don't learn affects the 3rd generation. Why? Because as parents, we are teaching our children, and they are probably going to teach their children the same thing. So that's 3 generations right there. So be vulnerable, be open, build your foundation on truth, and be open to the healing process. You know, healing is never. I don't know any healing that takes place without pain. So
Correct.
if you're willing to go through pain, um, then you're willing to go through the healing process. Then get the help that you need from really good coaches and therapists. Is what I would say.
Makes total sense to me. And you know what? I think that's all as far as to be said. I mean, you hit it right on the button. So, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of my very special guest, Darrell White, it's been an absolute honor and a privilege as far as for you to come on board and really be able to give value as far as to the listening audience. So we definitely appreciate that. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the Small Business Network podcast. Episode 2 is in the books. If you are in the listening audience and if you love as far as to be featured and just let the world know more about your gifts and talents and what you bring to the world, by all means, please feel free to get in contact with me. Would love to hear from you. So until then, family, if what we stated on here either motivated, transformed, or inspired one person, at least one person, may God be the glory, and we take no credit for absolutely none of it. Until then, you're all amazing. Enjoy the rest of this Saturday, and by His grace and mercy, look forward to seeing you all on the next episode. Thank you,
Peace.
everyone.